So I wanted to make a quick video, and I apologize if you guys hear my kids screaming in the background, mom life. I wanted to make a video about a situation that I just kind of encountered this weekend, and it may be something that you've come across, but it really just got me thinking and kind of makes me want to dial back from helping people. And I hate that this situation has made me do that. So I wanted to maybe talk about it versus just kind of shutting people out, because I don't think that's the right way to handle a situation like this. So let me just kind of give you the preference of what happened. So someone locally reached out to me about 2.5 years ago, and they were interested in learning how to do brow extensions and like training and like coaching and eventually maybe doing lash extensions. Back then, this was before I was teaching really for anything, so I was all for it, wanted to try it. So we had set up that she would come in a few times, shadow me, hang out. I would teach her how to do the services, and I would show her online marketing, all this. We decided on like 250, and of course now looking back, like that was a steal, really, because I don't teach anything now for 250. But long story short, she ended up running into different just kind of hiccups and just things in the road. Life happens, and excuse me, gosh, the whole going meatless thing. Anyway, so she, a year and a half, 2 years had passed, and I guess she just kind of decided she didn't really want to do lashes. We had done like a little intro to lashes, and she was just like, I don't know, this is harder than what I thought it was going to be. I don't think I want to focus on lashes. I love brows. I want to stick with brows. So she moved into brow tinting. I hooked her up with who I, get my brow tint from, where to get it from. I mean, I just gave her a bunch of insight as to stuff with, how I run my business and how she could run it, because I'm that type of person, whether you're local or not. I feel like we're competition, but we don't have to be nasty competitors. And I just shared and gave so much to this person. And, again, different stuff came up in her life where I guess she had to take a break and not really focus on stuff and then come back. And I think she had a baby. So that was, another thing that a lot of us have, been in the middle of business and then, oh, pregnant, that's even part of my story. So I get it. But recently she reached back out to me and was like, I'd posted some pictures of like lash training and stuff, and she was like, I didn't get to do that. I didn't get to do that. Why didn't I get to do that? And I was like, because we never really did official training. You said you didn't want to do lashes, that it wasn't your thing. You wanted to focus on brows. And she's like, well, now, I mean, I feel like, I paid money and I didn't get anything out of it. And I was like, you mean to tell me everything I shared with you was really basically worth nothing? Nothing. And she was like, well, I tried the brow extensions. They didn't work so well, blah, blah, blah. I had to redo clients and they were mad at me and all this and all that. And I said, well, I can't vouch for how a service will go for someone else. I personally did it. I had clients for a while. Yeah, it didn't work for weeks and weeks like originally thought. But for me, I just flipped it and said, it's great for vacations, weddings, special events, that kind of thing. I didn't market it after I realized it didn't work for me, even after like 5 days. I just flipped it and marketed it a different way, and I even shared that with her. I was like, just let clients know that it's better for these type of situations versus just having it done like lashes. It's not quite the same thing. And so, she was like, that didn't work for me, blah, blah, blah. And, the glue didn't work. And I was like, well, I used the same glue that I told you about and that was in your kit and everything. So it wasn't like I gave her shoddy, product advice. I gave her the same stuff that I was personally using for my clients. And anyway, she reached out this past weekend and was just like, I didn't feel like I got anything out of that. You didn't teach me this. You didn't teach me that. And I want to learn microblading because I love brows and I want to make money. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't just teach you brows. Like I'm actually starting to give classes and train people for this, And she was like, well, I want to learn brows, and I figured that the 250 we could just use it for that. And I was like, I can put the 250 towards your microblading, basically negating everything that I taught you 2 years ago. Like I just did that for free basically, and add that to a microblading training, which is $2,400. We can take it for that. Oh, well, I can't afford that. I'm not making that kind of money now, so I definitely can't afford that. You're a nice person and all, and blah, 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 but, I just kind of feel like I was hoping you could just like train me to do microblading. I'm like, and I was like, you know what? If this is about the money, I can just give you your money back. Basically, admitting that everything I did for you and everything that I taught you was not worth anything. I just feel like sometimes people see how you run your business and how successful your business has been, and then they want that. And I can understand that. I can completely understand that, because I've been in that situation where I've been where I was, and I look at other people and it's that whole comparison thing, like, I want that. I want to be that successful. I want to make that much money. I want to be able to go and do those things too. But not knowing in my own situation that I haven't actually put in the work that I need to put in order for me to get to that point. Everybody is on their own point. And if you don't put in that work, if you don't put in, all the necessary steps, you can't always just jump from step A to step Q. Like, it doesn't work that way. And I feel like because she's not as successful as she wants to be now, she kind of puts the blame on me from 2 years ago when I tried to help her, that now 2 years later, she's not as successful, not making as much money as she wants to make. So now it's my fault. And now I need to give her money back because she's not making enough money. It's like, you have to guard what you know. You have to guard your experiences, and you just have to, kind of weed people out who aren't willing to work. I mean, I feel like I could show everybody every single thing that has got me from where I was, 3 years ago to where I am now. But if you're not willing to put in the work, then you won't get there. You won't get there wherever that there is for you. So, I guess this may be just like a venting video, or, just kind of to know that, no matter where you are in your success ladder, you may not be where you exactly think you should be, but someone else is probably watching you and thinking, I want that. I want you to help me to get to where you are. How can you help me get there? And even if you do help them, it's that whole, the whole teaching people to fish and, bringing them fish kind of thing. Like, you can teach someone to learn how to run a successful business, but if they're not willing to actually do the work to get there and persevere through struggles to get there, then they're not going to get there. And it's not going to be your fault because you gave them the tools and then they just did whatever with it. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And, I figure that throughout this journey, I'm going to run into all different types of people. And it was always my hope from the beginning that I would find people more like me who, maybe in the beginning didn't have the money that someone else had, but, worked their butt off to get to where they wanted to be and to, make their goals happen and make, everything a reality for them. But it won't always be that way. And I guess that's what we need to kind of be on the lookout for, that not everybody is always going to want to, constantly put in that work and constantly push past barriers in order to see success. They just want to do a little bit and then be at the finish line, and that's not the way it works. So, and if you're actually watching this, then, I'm not going to say who you are. I'm not going to, put you on blast, because I'm not that type of person, but I do want to let, that person know that, what you did wasn't right. And then, me giving you $250 back after 2 years is just me, because I'm a good person, and I share and I give more than I probably should in some situations. And your situation was probably one of them. So, never again. And just a kind of warning, for you guys out there watching, if you have people in your life that, want what you have, or desire, your place, or just want that type of level of whatever success, that you're seeing, that just know that not everybody is going to be willing to work to get it. So that's that. And I guess that's another way to put it out there too, that, I'm willing to help. That's why I blog. That's why I create courses. That's why I train. But I can't take every single person by the hand and teach them individually. I just don't have the time and I don't have the resources to do that. But I try to give and share as much as I can to as many people as possible. And that's why I put so much information out online. So, even still, if you've reached out to me and I haven't reached back, it's not because I don't want to help. It's just because I'm pretty much a 1.5 woman show at this point, in terms of like handling my emails and all that stuff. It's me, and then whenever I can get someone to help me. And because I am a mother of 3, and my husband is Navy, so he's gone more than he's here. So I just try to give what I can without giving too much of myself and not having enough left for my family. So there's that. So yeah, I guess the lesson is you can share and you can give, but just know that not every person is going to be willing to put in that work in order to see the success that they want. So there's that. If you're watching this, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.